Good morning. This is Rob Grothier sharing with you our devotional for today. Again, we're focusing on the transformation of Jesus, transfiguration. And let me read this account to you. Two men, Moses and Elijah, were talking with Jesus. They were clothed with heavenly splendor and spoke about Jesus' departure, which he would achieve in Jerusalem. Peter and those with him, which were James and John, were almost overcome by sleep, but they managed to stay awake and saw his glory as well as the two men with him. Here is a moment of glory. Jesus brings his three most trusted disciples up to the mountain, and he is transfigured, and Moses and Elijah are there. The three disciples said they were fighting sleep, but they stayed awake to listen to that. How could you sleep during this scene? How can you see this majesty and think that, oh, it's a ho-hum? Let me just close my eyes for a minute. Sometimes Peter's confession of fighting sleep, sometimes we too fight sleep. I'm looking at Barclay understanding of this section, and it says sometimes we sleep. Sometimes our hearts and minds are locked in what we think is already going to happen. We don't take what God is doing for us at the moment because our minds are locked. We have a prejudice that we know what's about to be said, or maybe when we're reading the scriptures, we hear something so much, so often, that we just kind of blank it out. We should not do that. We should not do that. Sometimes he says that sometimes our minds are asleep. Sometimes our minds check out on us. We need to understand that our minds need to be fully engaged at all times. And for the disciples in this moment, they were not fully engaged. And then there's a chance that we need to wake up. Maybe there's something in our lives that can wake us up. God can touch us through many things. One is through sorrow. We find a passion in our lives when we're faced with some sadness and grief. That can wake us up as well. There's love. When we grasp that God is in love with us, we too must return that love, and that can wake us up. We can find a sense of purpose in our lives. When we find something that our focus and our life can then give, we then are fully engaged and fully awake. As we go through our lives, may we be Peter, James, and John, open to transformation, open to seeing Jesus for who he really is. And may our lives reflect that in what we say and what we do. Have a great transformation week. Bye-bye.